All right, let's get into week one, some of these matchups, and let's talk about what's going on in fantasy. Let's talk about who we go sit, who we go start. We'll go week by week. Well, not week by week, but game by game for week one. And we'll talk about it. You see how I got it. All right. So if we start, let's start with the 49ers and Steelers matchup, because I like that one, right? First of all, Steelers go surprise some people. That defense gonna be good. So you gotta think twice about who you starting in this game and maybe possibly sit somebody. But at running back, these two dudes, CMC and Najee Harris, 100% start. I don't care if you're playing the best defense in the league. You got to start these two dudes if you got them on your roster, man. So you see the numbers up there from last year. You know, they especially CMC, man. He go do his thing, but. What's y'all thoughts on them, man? You agree? You sitting any of these dudes, or is it a start?
Nah, no question. This is, for me at least, automatic starts for both. You got them, play them.
My only pushback on Najee Harris is that the 49ers have always been a good rush defense, and I don't necessarily see Najee Harris as I guess dual threat as Christian is. But I would definitely start Christian because the fact of the matter is, whether it's Purdy or Sam Darnold, he's probably going to be Purdy. He's easily a safety valve for whoever is quarterback, who's ever back there. Kittle is, last time I saw, he was probable, but he is dealing with some kind of little nagging injury, so you probably won't get full production out of him, so that gives you the chance to get more touches from Christian, at least in the receiving game. But if you happen to have one or the other, I would go with Christian before I would go with Najee, though.
Okay. So if you thinking twice about starting Najee, then you can't be thinking about starting his backup Warren. If you got Warren on your roster, what are you doing with him?
Sit.
Come on, he ain't coming off the bench. What you talking about?
but Warren is a more elusive back, and I think he catch a little bit more passes.
Yeah, which I understand, but he's not going to get enough. He's not going to get enough touches to help you win a matchup because Deontay Johnson and George Pickens are going to be your first two options. Then Fairmouth, your tight end, is going to be your third option. So even if you have him on your bench, he's probably at best your fourth receiving option at running back. So if you don't even start Najee, I wouldn't even, hey, Warren got to sit too. And in fact, you better put him at the bottom of the bench there. So, yeah. I mean, because I'm looking at this matchup wise, and San Francisco is so stout against the run. You're going to have to get very creative to get Najee his touches. So, I mean, it's one of those things where you can take the creativity with Christian because you already know he's going to be a problem in the receiving, in the running. So yeah.
This is how I look at it. I mean, and this is what's so great about having coaches that's been there for a long time, because you know their personality and you know what they like to do. And I know Tomlin knows how to play gritty, grimy, dirty games, and he knows how to run that football and continue to be consistent with running it, and he's not going to fall in love with the pass. So he's going to run. He's going to play smash mouth football, and at the very least, if Najee get in the end zone twice, just because I know they probably go run it a couple of times if they get in the red zone, he can be a touchdown, person that helps out in fantasy. It might not be a lot of volume, and he might not get 30 carries and break off 2 or 3 big runs, and he go get 10 passes thrown his way. He might not get all that in this game, but he's going to touch the ball, and he's definitely going to touch it in short yardage near the goal line. So that I mean, I'm looking for him to get in the end zone once or twice, and I'm still starting, man. And CMC, he ain't got no green light for sure, because Pittsburgh defense is going to be stout as well. So. Both of these are facing something, but I mean, ain't no way I got, because if I got CMC, that means I took him in the first round. He's 100% gonna be the best running back on my roster. Gotta start him. I can't think of anybody else that I would start just because CMC playing the Steelers and vice versa. Same thing for Najee, man. If I got Najee, would I get him? Probably get Najee 4th round, maybe. Yeah, so I mean, he might be your RB2. Yeah, but anyway, speaking of the receivers, you talk about Pickens and Deontay Johnson. Now, this is the interesting thing. A lot of the targets going to Johnson. Look at 147 targets Johnson last season. That's crazy, man. 86 receptions. That's crazy, but 0 touchdowns. So, if you got one of them on your roster, are you starting either one? If you got, let's say we got Deontay Johnson, he's the number 2 guy, right? If you got him, are you starting him? I say yes.
As a flex, though.
Yeah. I'm starting both of them.
You starting either one of them if you got them on your roster. Yeah. I got to start for both of them, man, because I believe in Pittsburgh's offense this year. I believe in Kenny Pickett. I'm telling you, he gonna be slinging that ball, man. So I think both of these dudes are must starts this week. Yeah. Go ahead, Lamar.
No. I'm saying I'm with you. If I got either one of them on my team, I'm starting them. Because I gotta give Kenny Pickett his credit, bro. Like, I was against Homeboy last year. I was like, no, dude gonna be dookie, he gonna be trash. And back half of that season, the regular season last year, he was nice. And then I know it's preseason, but the connection that you see with Deontay and George that he got with him, it's like, okay. They might got something right there. So you just gotta, if they get the right matchup, man. Because I think both of them are elite route runners, and George Pickens looks like he could catch anything and everything that's in his radius. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you got to start both of them, whether it's flex. Right, it's whether it's either 1 or 2. So yeah.
I like where you can get both of them in the draft too. That's what I like. You can get both of them in the draft with pretty good picks. You ain't got to get them super early, man. They still available in late rounds, man. So that's dope. Chris, you starting both of them or no? Not both, but either. If you got either one of them on your roster.
If I got one or the other, I would start, but only as a flex option.
For who?
Both
for
of them.
Either one of them.
Yeah, it's the threat of that, the fact that the connection with both of them is so good with the quarterback that it could be either one's day. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like how Kenny Allen and Williams is.
Yeah, and it's kind of inconsistent to where you can kind of put a clock on it and be like, okay, I can put him as my wide receiver 1 or my wide receiver 2. A flex option is pretty good for them, because I mean, for you to get them, there had to have been other receivers you could have got first before you got down. Like you said, you can get them late in the draft, right? So, I wouldn't have them as my.
Well, you don't want to get them too late.
No. Like, you can get them in like a nice little steal range, like round 6 or round 7.
I don't know about that far. In
a 15-round draft. 6 or 7 round?
Let's see. Let me see if I remember. My first pick was I can't even remember who my first pick was. Can't even remember who I definitely went running back. Saquon Barkley was my first pick. I went running back for 2nd round. 3rd round I went receiver. 4th round I grabbed another running back. 5th round I grabbed my receiver. So I waited late to get my receiver, so I ended up with DK Metcalf as my receiver. So obviously my receiver number 2 was gonna be even worse than that. So I ended up with Drake London.
That's a flex option at best, dog.
Hey, well, we'll see. But I would much rather have George Pickens than Drake London.
Oh yeah.
Was he already gone by the time you got to that pick?
He had to be if I didn't get him, because I already had my eye on George Pickens. So yeah, okay. so he was gone. He was gone 5th round at the latest.
I'm not mad for those who start either one at wide receiver 2. It's just flex is about as high for me. I can go with them right now.
Yeah, I'm putting my money on it that Pickens will be wide receiver 1 before he would be recognized as a wide receiver 1 by week 4.
Okay.
By that time. All right, let's look at the 49ers. I'm not starting. Well, I'm giving a lot of thought to starting Brandon Ayuk. But yeah, I'm giving it a lot of thought, man. But it's tough, man, because Debo didn't have that type of year last year. And looking at the numbers, you get what I'm saying? Looking at the numbers, Ayuk might not be a bad person to start, but I just can't do it, man. Because I know they want to use Debo. He was just injured so much last year.
Yeah.
But they want to use him, man. So for week 1, they both coming in healthy. I would think that Debo would be getting more targets than Brandon. But that's just my thought. So I would be starting.
Yeah, you gotta
Debo.
wait for the shit to pop up across the screen. Like on some
I don't know
shit.
who keep having it from their computer coming here.
Oh, that's my bad.
Yeah, but yeah, Brandon. I'm thinking twice about that though.
I like Brandon. I think he's gonna have a step up season this year from last year, just because Purdy is gonna have to spread that, or Darnold, whoever's quarterback, is gonna have to spread that ball around more, just because defenses are gonna be centered more on Debo and CMC, so that'll open up more looks for Ayuk, and he was the more premier receiver last year. Debo was out a couple games. But he's also capable of being a number 1. I think he'd be a number 1 on a lot of other teams in the league. So
you being real generous, dog.
Yeah, if he got number 1 capability, then at some point I'm gonna have to give him that Charles Barkley and be like, I apologize, I wasn't that familiar with your game. Because I don't see number 1 in him. I see
you being generous, bro.
Yeah, I think that if you got a true number 1 beside you, then you can look good. But absent of that number 1, yeah.
Hey, you gonna fall into Juju Smith-Schuster category?
Look what he did. Look what he did when the true number 1 was absent.
Yeah, but still, when you looking at Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuels, and George Kittle on the same offense that you're on, you're going to have the possibilities of some one-on-one coverage. I mean, there's no way around that. There's going to be so much other talent that's on your offense that is so damn good. It's going to take away some defensive coverage on you. I mean,
to put it in perspective, right? CMC didn't come until late. Debo was missing games, so honestly, it was only just Kittle and Brandon. And then you had Juwan Johnson, and I can't even rattle off whatever
Mitchell. I think that's his name.
Whatever other receivers that they had. So he was pretty much the number 1 for most of the season. Then of course you get CMC and Debo back, and now and he was still able to finish the season over 1K in yards. So it's
I give him his credit. The numbers are there. Yeah. It's just.
I said some teams, not every other team in the NFL.
I was about to say, I was like, wait, you talking about 31 teams, or you talking about a handful of teams?
He could be the number 1 on some other teams in the NFL.
Okay, Houston's one of them in Arizona, so that's what
so Chris, you starting Brandon Ayuk.
If I have Brandon Ayuk, I would start Brandon Ayuk. If I have Debo, I'm gonna start Debo. But if I have Brandon, I would start Brandon.
There you go. I wouldn't.
And it's fair.
Well, no, I would. But
flex.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was thinking. Flex. Flex. Because you got to take what you can get from him. But if you're asking him to be your wide receiver 1 or 2, he's not actually that on the roster. So it's like, it's kind of hard to put him like that as your fantasy team.
114 targets though. He got in the end zone 8 times.
But like Chris said, when you got Debo going down and Christian didn't come to your team about late October, I mean you're going to obviously get some targets because you got people missing. But when they come back, hey man, your targets is going down, Pip.
All right, tight ends. I'm not I'm not saying that Freiermuth is not gonna be that dude. I'm just saying I don't trust him yet. So
Fair enough.
I'm not starting him. I doubt people got more than one tight end on their roster anyway. So if you ended up with Fairmouth, then you waited too late to get a tight end possibly. But yeah,
I almost got stuck with him in one league. I was like, nah, bro, let me grab a tight end real quick, because I'm like you, dog.
But you might be good. You might be good though. He might turn out. Well, I'm just saying. I would like to have a better option in my starting lineup. So I wouldn't be recommending starting him. I would hope you got somebody better than that. But of course, Kittle, he got like some injury concerns. He said he was ready to go for week 1, but he don't have a major injury like Kelsey did. You know, it's just one of those things. So if he's suited up, I'm starting him. I got you. You got to, right.
I mean, you can't overlook 11 touchdowns. Like,
that's what I was about to say, because I saw that. I was like,
11 touchdowns. Like the yards is kind of close in comparison, but the disparity is the touchdowns. I mean, Kittle is just that red zone guy, and I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 of those touchdowns came off of a long play too. So he's a yak guy as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like if he is so much as, you know, if he feels good, if the numbers is right for him, and if the clouds part the right way, and he says I'm starting, then I'm starting him. Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this. All right, because I want to get y'all thoughts on the matchup. Then we'll move on. If you got Purdy on your roster and you got Kenny Pickett, which one would you start for this week 1 matchup?
That's hard.
Me personally, I'm not starting Purdy. I would rather take my chances with Kenny Pickett against 49ers offense than I would with Purdy against Pittsburgh's defense. I said that wrong.
Yeah,
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, we got
you.
49ers defense.
Yeah, we got you.
I'll say this: if you're looking at secondary, it's a no-fly zone with Mika Fitzpatrick back there.
Well, you ain't lying.
It's a no-fly zone. So I'm with you on that. I'll probably go Kenny Pickett before.
But coming off of Tommy John, I highly doubt Brock Purdy's taking the top off anyway.
I want to see what he looked like week 1. I'd rather start Kenny Pickett for a couple of reasons. Like I said, I trust.
Is there another option? Can I pick another quarterback?
No. If you ended up with both of them on your roster,
I'm starting the kicker.
Man, chill.
I'm just playing. If it was between the two, I would definitely trust Kenny Pickett more, just because like the elbow is a huge concern, man. I'm not week 1. If you start Purdy, first off, you drafted horribly. But it's Pickett for me out those two.
Yeah. So all right, I'm not gonna go through. We're against the time, so I'm not gonna go with every team in week 1. I'm gonna go with some of these key matchups I like. Bengals Browns. Starter sit Burrow, starter sit Watson. Like, I know Burrow is a no-brainer, but he did have a calf strain. But I got Burrow on my roster, and I'm starting him. So 100% start Burrow. Watson, is there a question mark there? Would you start Watson, or would you go with who your other quarterback you got?
It depends on who your other quarterback. If your other quarterback happens to be like one of those other top 5 fantasy quarterbacks, and you probably sit him. If not, here's the thing with Deshaun, and this is what scares me with him. Is he going to be able to? I'm not looking for him to be full. Before the massage guy and lighten it up, and because there was a point he was, toted with him and Patrick Mahomes as some of the best quarterbacks in the league. About 3 years ago. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to, knock off some more of that rust, because those 6 games he played last year, it just you could tell he was gone for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I would probably look at Deshaun maybe week 2 or week 3. I need to see something of progression first. From
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, what I seen from Deshaun last year, I didn't like.
Yeah.
Right. So even if I did have the balls to draft him, whoever my other quarterback is, I'm starting that person over Deshaun, at least for week 1, because I don't like question marks. So I'm gonna go with what I know. Where, like, if I had Geno and Deshaun. I'm starting Geno this week.
And I wouldn't be mad at that. Geno was accurate as hell last year. So
heck yeah. And if Deshaun shows out, then I'll be like, okay, well, he's showing me he back to his old self. I throw him back in there. That's what I would do. Is there anybody else in this Bengals Browns? Of course, Chase. Right. So of course we starting Chase. Do you go further? If you got T. Higgins, do you start Higgins? Do you start Amari Cooper at receiver? Is there anybody else that you starting in this matchup?
Here's my only pushback to what you said about Burrow. You already talked about how shaky that O-line is, and Myles Garrett always sacks Joe Burrow. Always sacks Joe Burrow. That's my only pushback. I'm not saying you sit him.
Yeah, but you still start him though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you got to take that in consideration before you hit that button to start him or sit him. That's all I'm saying.
There's no quarterback in the top 5 that you thinking about. Like it don't matter unless you got another quarterback that's just hot. That's real, like maybe you got Aaron Rodgers. You can get him real late in the draft. So maybe you took Burrow early. Well, it's funny because I do got Aaron Rodgers and Burrow. So I got Aaron Rodgers and Burrow. You can get Aaron Rodgers like 7th round. He's just sitting there.
That's crazy.
Right?
He's falling so far in the fantasy draft nowadays.
Right.
Crazy.
So if you got that option, let's say it's week 2 and Aaron Rodgers lit it up week 1, and now I got a decision to make. If the Bengals is playing somebody who got a pass rusher like Garrett, okay, yeah, I go with Aaron Rodgers. He hot right now, maybe, right? But you don't want to miss out on that opportunity where Chase and Burrow had one of them games where they just breaking records. You know what I mean? So you gotta put the young buck out there, man. So it'll be hard for me to bench Burrow this season. I got Aaron Rodgers for the bye week.
True.
Factuals.
I dig it.
Anybody else who you start mixing?
I was actually gonna say I would sit Mixon. I'm staying away from Mixon.
Staying away from Mixon, but obviously Chubb, you're definitely starting Chubb, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. yeah. Because Chubb's still gonna get his carries. He's still a big part of that offense.
Not to mention, I don't think they brought back Kareem Hunt, so now he'll be the premier back. There's no more splitting carries.
Yeah.
So, Kareem Hunt's a free agent. Amari Cooper.
Wow, that's wild.
Start him. I got him starting in both my leagues. So
yeah, I'm starting.
He's gonna be Deshaun's number 1.
Yeah.
Peoples Jones is on the up and come, but
I'm not starting to.
Cooper is gonna be. He's gonna be his number 1. So I'm starting Cooper.
Absolutely. Buccaneers, Vikings.
I'm not starting nobody.
I'm definitely not starting Baker Mayfield.
Except JJ. JJ, the only one getting started.
Right. I'm taking Mayfield on your roster, bro. You
was auto drafting. You
didn't give a damn about that draft, bro.
Auto draft will get you a better quarterback than that. Golly.
If you stuck with Baker, come on, man. You was not winning your league, bro.
Yeah. But no to Baker, but yes to Kirk Cousins.
Oh hell yeah! I had Kirk Cousins on my squad last year. He is the benefactor of JJ, and he's going to put up numbers, and that's just that's kind of the luck of the draw when you have Justin Jefferson to throw to, bro.
And it's gonna be high power because they're always gonna be playing from behind, so he's gonna have to throw it. So that defense can't stop a cold, so they're gonna be giving up points, and Kirk Cousins is gonna have to throw it. Get 350, 400 yards, and half of that going to be JJ. So,
yeah. So Justin Jefferson is a no-brainer. But the question is, how far do you go in that receiver core? Would you start the rookie Addison?
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
Not for week 1. You want to see what he got.
You gotta show me. All right.
What about the receivers on the Bucs side?
Mike Evans, and that's it.
No, I'm decent.
And actually barely Mike Evans because they having issues over there right now.
For sure.
So, but you start Mike Evans just because it's Mike Evans. But
what about the running back White? I'm starting him.
Who?
I'm saying White.
Sure, right.
It especially against the Vikings defense. Oh yeah. I got him on one of my leagues. He was on my bench. I had Ramondre Stevenson in the flex. And he just he's questionable now. And I said, you know what? I'm not even gonna wait to Sunday to figure out if he gonna play or not. I put White in.
Yeah.
Doing right on in the slot, man. I'm in the flex. Yeah. So and I looked at the Vikings, heck yeah, against the Vikings, yeah.
Yeah,
That dude might get 2 touchdowns.
The defense is Swiss cheese for sure. So I mean, that's not a bad.
This is crazy, bro. Like, I love Brian Flores, but I think he took a raw deal taking that defensive coordinator job, like, because he ain't got.
That's the only one he could get. That was the only one he could get, man.
I get it, but damn, bro, they put you behind the 8 ball the moment you said, "I'll take the job."
It was doomed to fail from the start.
That's just tough.
TJ Hockenson is a must start. TJ Hockenson must start.
Oh yeah, I forgot about TJ over there now. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna waste time on this Cardinals Commanders game. I will say that the Cardinals defense might be Swiss cheese, and I think the Commanders quarterback might be a possible, depending on what your roster look like, he might possibly score you some points this week. So he possibly could get a start. I don't think McLaren. I think they did clear him to play, but it's turf toe and all that stuff. I wouldn't mess with him. I would go as well.
There is only one must start. There's only one must start in this matchup. It's Washington's defense. That is the only. The only must start.
You might be right.
Because they named Joshua Dobbs the starter,
and he just got to the team about a week and a half ago.
Oh my God, that defense is about to put up some points.
Yeah,
they about to get back there. Right. They tearing that line. That's the only must start in this matchup is Washington's defense.
All right, let's Raiders Broncos. Jacobs. I'm starting Jacobs. I don't care if he just got back off a holdout, and if he's starting, he's playing, he's healthy, I'm starting him 100%. Man. Yeah, for sure. I'm 100% starting Devontae Adams 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. It's a no for me with Russell. I want to see what you go do. I'm not starting Russell Wilson.
It's absolutely no.
Yeah, it's a no for me with Russell Wilson.
It's absolutely no for Jimmy G.
Yeah. Now they're starting Javonte Williams off of he got a brand new leg almost, and it's a no for me with.
He's still wearing the Broncos uniform.
Yeah, but but to be fair, Javonte Williams was killing it before he got hurt last year, and he was pretty much the jump starter of any type of offense that they had. We'll see what happens because I got stuck with him on one of my rosters. So I'm like, shit.
He's starting.
Sean Payton.
He's starting.
Is a passing.
Yeah, bro. I had absolutely no other options at running back. I was like, shit.
Yeah, I'm waiting. For real, man. You ain't had no options at running back.
But no, bro. I was at the bottom of that draft, so anybody that I had pinned and I wanted just got snatched. I'm talking about Jameer, Bijan, Saquon. Bijan. They all got yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it for me. With Raiders and Broncos. I'm starting. Like I said, I'm starting Jacobs. I'm starting Adams. I'm not starting Jimmy G. I'm not starting Russ. I'm not starting Javonte. I'm not starting none of those Broncos receivers, Sutton or Jerry Jeudy. None of them. I'm not starting those guys, right?
Yeah, but Jerry Jeudy out for the next 7 or 8 weeks anyway. So
yeah,
right.
All right, Rams Seahawks.
Any Seahawks players that you got?
Well, Kenny Walker just popped up on the injury report.
I think he just cleared his designation. I think.
Nah, you start Geno. Yeah. You start Geno for sure.
No, you start Geno.
Yeah,
you start Geno for sure. I'm not starting Stafford. No, it's a no for me.
Yeah,
he only got his number one target. So I'm not starting Stafford.
I'm not starting anything on the Rams offense.
No,
I'm not starting Rams.
Not Akers, not Van G. Yeah, so Rams is done. So
yeah,
Geno, yes. Now you got a question about running back with the Seahawks, because before this injury concern popped up for Walker, you would think you was looking at a 1-2 punch between him and that rookie Cabernet, and he's a good back. But now Walker might not be playing, so if you got Cabernet, that's the guy I'm 100% starting, because now he's playing and he ain't sharing the backfield with a guy that's supposed to be the starter over him. So keep your eye out on if Walker's going to play or not. And if Walker doesn't play and you got Cabernet on your roster, I'm starting him, right? If you know, like in my case, my running back 1 and 2 is Barkley and Jacobs. That's my running back 1 and 2, right? And I got White in the flex. But if I had Cabernet, I'm throwing him in my flex if Walker's not playing.
How the hell did you land that?
Oh, I know how to draft. Well, I took a hit on receiver. Remember, I ended up with Drake London and my receiver too.
Oh, okay. How the hell you pull Saquon and Josh in a snake draft?
Because I told you
it's some dark magic going on in his draft.
I went running back first and second round.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot you did say that. All right.
Yeah. You know, everybody listen to the experts telling them, oh man, running backs is not winning leagues no more. Go with receiver. So it's people going receiver first and second round and then getting running backs. I'm like, y'all crazy in y'all head, man. Give me that running back.
Yep.
I'm snatching them up.
You start Geno if you got him. Start DK. But if you don't have any of those,
I'd still put Lockett at either flex or wide receiver too.
I'm actually putting in Jigba above Lockett.
That's a tough one. They got 3 receivers that
JSN got a wrist injury and
he had the surgery. They say he was gonna be ready for week 1.
Yeah, he'll still play, but I'm gonna go with a sure thing with DK and Tyler before I go JSN. And it's not a diss on him because I think he got talent. Yeah. It's just that when you're a receiver and you're talking about your wrist is jacked up, you know.
But when he gets 100%,
he gonna
got him. If you got him, good Lord.
I wouldn't even be surprised if you know, I know Aaron Donald's still there, but the Rams got so many issues. I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks came out and Metcalf, Lockett, and the rookie all got in the end zone. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's very well believable because that secondary is non-existent.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised at all. All right, this is a big game. Green Bay and the Bears. I am 100% starting Justin Fields. 100%. I'm starting him 100%.
Not opposed to it.
You know how I feel. I'm gonna just leave that one alone.
Nah, don't leave it alone. Don't leave it alone. Why wouldn't you start a dude that's just gonna be great in fantasy? Why wouldn't you?
I think Justin Fields is a one-trick pony. I think
I do that. Fucking Lions hated.
I think it's like so he has one receiver in DJ Moore. I don't trust Chase Claypool. So he says he only has one receiver in DJ Moore. If he can somehow get the ball to him through that non-existent offensive line, maybe. But now everybody's going to be more prepared for him to run because they know he can run. They're going to want him to pass the ball, and he's not going to do well in the passing game. I got to see a couple weeks and see how that offense plays out. I'm staying away from Justin Fields for the first couple weeks.
Ain't no way in the world, man. 2,242 passing yards, 17 passing touchdowns, and 1,143 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns.
How many passing yards?
Only 2,200, but 1,100 rushing yards. That's a running back.
So make him a running back.
That's a RB1. He got more rushing yards than CMC last year. He got more rushing yards than Eckler last year.
Yeah.
Right. So if you can have a receiver or a running back that catches more than he runs or catches better than he runs, and then you can have a quarterback that pass a little bit and run a little bit. You know, he's doing a little bit of both. I mean, a good season for a quarterback is about 3,000 yards passing.
I would go about 3,500. Yeah.
Right. So if you add up his passing yards, which was 2,200 plus 1,100, he's about at 35, close to 35, just under 35. And he'll mass for 17, that's 18, 25 touchdowns almost.
Y'all like it? I love it, bro.
This guy.
But injury news, man. Christian Watson is out. So now that kind of hinders the Jordan Love look. Christian Watson is gonna be the number one, But without the number one, I don't think Jordan Love has a good enough
I might
game.
change my pick. I was actually going to look at Green Bay to win that game.
I was too. I might have to change
that. But look, what about his number 2 receiver Dobbs? He got the same hamstring issue.
So Jordan Love has no receivers.
He gonna be looking at his tight end and running the ball a lot with Dillon and Jones.
Well, go start you a Green Bay running back then.
Start you a Green Bay running back or maybe that tight end, but don't start Jordan Love. Definitely start Justin Fields.
Maybe start Justin Fields.
I'm starting DJ Moore in the flex. But if you got the receiver depth, or not death, but depth, and you can get away with not starting DJ Moore, it's not a bad idea to wait to see how they play week 1 before you start throwing them in the starting lineup. I'm staying away from the Chicago running backs. I'm not starting either. I'm not starting Herbert.
Whoever they are.
Khalil Herbert, damn, man.
And I'm damn sure not starting Cole Kmet either, because the tight end is just another lineman in Chicago. So,
all right, last game. Monday night game, Bills Jets.
Start anybody that plays for either team.
Both these quarterbacks start. You might get away with starting Gabe Davis, maybe, but you definitely starting Diggs. Go ahead. Go ahead. You definitely starting Garrett Wilson.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. But I wanted to say this early, and I'm glad we got to this game. I don't know if you start Stephon Diggs on this purpose. Just this purpose. Hear me out.
Sauce.
And then, and if he goes to the other side, DJ Reed is still a nice cornerback too. So he's going to get the bracket coverage, and I don't care what nobody say. Josh Allen is going to try to force feed the ball because he wants to make it seem like they don't have this little beef or this little quarrel going on, and he's going to try to force feed the ball. The problem is that he's going against a good defense, and you can't force feed anybody the football on a good defense. So I would actually start Gabe Davis, and actually, as crazy as it sounds, I would stay away from Stephon Diggs in week 1.
I mean, the way they're advertising the Jets defense, you might have to stay away from everybody except Josh Allen. But like I said, if you drafted Stephon Diggs, you got him very early, and you can't afford not to put him on the field. Anybody you draft first, second, third round, you have to start. You got to start him, right? You just can't afford not to, right? So I'm 100%. You got to start Diggs. You got to start Josh. Cook, if you got him, you probably start him as well. The only question marks comes in is who do you start in the backfield for the Jets? Is it gonna be Dalvin Cook or is it gonna be Breece Hall?
I would start Cook. I would sit on Breece just for the time being, just because that's an ACL tear that he's coming back from. Yeah. Dalvin Cook, he has his injury concerns, man, but he plays through most of his injuries until he can't. So
it could very well look like Detroit last night, the way they did Gibbs and Montgomery. It can look just like that.
It could, but that's too much of an unknown to hinge your lineup off that. So I think you start Dalvin, you sit on Breece. I know for one thing, I don't start either defense.
I'm starting.
I start Jets defense. I don't start Buffalo's defense because I don't care what nobody say. They're getting older, and without Leslie Frazier, I don't think they're going to be that same defense that's been in the top 5, top 10 the last few years. I will start the Jets defense though. I think Quentin Williams is such a problem. You have to start that Jets defense. The secondary is nice. I mean, they got little weaknesses on that Jets defense. So yeah, you got to start them.
Man, that defense is gonna be. I can't wait to see that defense play. It's gonna be fascinating, man. But
I would also say possibly look at Dawson Knox for maybe like a flex, just because Stephon might be locked down, and then if he can't get it to Gabe, he's gonna have to start doing these little dumb downs. And Dawson is a big red zone guy too. So
yeah, he's good. So what do you do with the tight end over in Big Green, Conklin? You think Aaron Rodgers will look for him?
Absolutely not.
He's looking at Garrett Wilson, bro. And
he's looking at Garrett. He's looking at Alan Lazard. He's looking at Randall Cobb. He's looking at Dalvin Cook. He's looking at Robert Saleh, the head coach. And he's looking at a cheerleader before he looks at Robert Conklin.
Y'all know why Aaron Rodgers love Aaron Lazard so much?
Why?
That dude blocks like a tight end.
Yeah.
He blocks like a tight end. He's the tight end size. Him and Waller probably about the same size.
I was about to say, yeah.
Right.
So I
he's
would
he's a huge target, but he's okay with just blocking sometimes. If he don't get the ball, he's still okay. He still blocks in the run game. He still blocks in the pass game. But when it's time for you to throw him the ball, you know, he do his thing, man. But they just don't go to him that much. People been waiting for Lazard to become a number one for the last 2 years. Especially when Adams left and he was by himself last year and he just didn't do it, man. But they just don't use him like that. I'm interested to see if they use him like that with the Jets, man. Is it him or was it Green Bay coaching? I don't know.
I think Lazard gets a little bit more love here in New York, especially because Garrett Wilson is going to garner all that attention as the number one. Lazard was going to be a very quiet number two. But a nice sleeper. So look to start him in the future if you got him.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, man, that's it. That's all the games, man. That's week one. That's your starts. That's your sits, man. Hopefully you get this in time to make your roster adjustments. And then you definitely go see us react to everything after the game on Sunday, man. So I catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.